Zara followed Diane through the sleek corridors of Europa Base 7. The human facility was nothing like she expected. Instead of crude metal and exposed wiring, the walls gleamed with a pearlescent finish that seemed to pulse with energy. Soft, blue light guided their path coming from no visible source. Human technology is quite different from what our reports suggest, Zara said, carefully watching Diane's reaction. The older woman smiled, her dark eyes twinkling. We tend to keep our best innovations. Quiet showing strength can provoke challenge. Showing weakness can invite protection. Sometimes appearing less advanced than you are has strategic advantages. This philosophy confused Zara. Valorians displayed their technological prowess proudly. It earned them respect among galactic species. But humans seemed to operate with opposite logic. They reached a large circular door which slid open, silently revealing a vast chamber. Inside, dozens of humans worked at various stations. Some wore the special suits Zara had examined, others were in standard uniforms. The room hummed with activity and purpose. This is our main control center, Diane explained. Every operation on Europa runs through here, from life support to research to our deep space. Communications, Zara. Notice the display showing star systems far beyond what humans should have been able to chart. One screen showed a region near the Valorian home system, with details only their own scanners should have detected. You have been watching us for some time, Zara stated. As you have been watching us, Diane replied without hesitation. We intercepted your first probe near Mars, almost 30 Earth years ago. Rather than destroy it, we modified its sensors to show you what we wanted you to see. The revelation stunned Zara. The Valorian High Council had believed their surveillance of Earth was completely undetected. Their entire assessment of human capabilities was based on deliberately misleading information. Why reveal this to me now? Zara asked. Diane gestured to a nearby screen showing a star chart. A red pulsing light moved across it. Something is coming, Diane said, her voice growing serious. Something that threatens both our species. We believe it's time for proper introductions between our civilizations. Tall human female approached them. Her skin was dark brown, her head completely shaved. She wore one of the special suits, but without the helmet. Zara noticed small implants at her temples, barely visible beneath the skin. This is Maya, our lead scientist, Diane said. Maya, this is our Valorian visitor. Maya nodded at Zara, her expression neutral but curious. The suit designs you saw impressed you, I assume. Zara acknowledged this with a slight bow. They exceed anything we have developed. The molecular integration alone would take our scientists decades to perfect. Maya smiled slightly. When survival demands innovation, you learn to work efficiently. The Gateway project required solving several impossible problems. We had no choice but to succeed. A loud alarm suddenly blared through the facility. Red lights pulsed along the walls. The humans around them moved with practiced efficiency. Proximity alert. Diana announced storm debris impacting defense perimeter. Zara felt a momentary panic. Had her ship been damaged? Was this an attack? But the humans showed no sign of concern toward her. Maya touched her temple where the implant rested. Sector 4 barrier is holding. Adjusting power distribution to compensate damage. Minimal. Zara watched in amazement as Maya seemed to communicate directly with the station systems without speaking or touching any controls. The neural interface she had mentioned earlier was clearly more advanced than Zara had imagined. The alarm silenced after a few moments. Diane turned to Zara. This storm is stronger than predicted. You arrived at an interesting time. Would you like to continue the tour, or would you prefer to rest? Your biology must find our environment. Taxing, Zara straightened her posture, unwilling to show weakness. I would like to see this Gateway project. My report will need to be thorough. Diane nodded, but her expression suggested she understood. Zara's true curiosity was not merely professional. The three of them entered a transport tube that moved horizontally through the base, at speeds that pressed Zara back against the wall, though the humans seemed unaffected by the acceleration. Europa is mostly ice with a liquid ocean beneath. Maya explained as they traveled. Its composition makes it ideal for our purposes. The radiation from Jupiter provides power, the isolation provides security, and the water gives us the necessary elements for the gateway. The tube slowed, then descended rapidly. Zara felt the gravity shift as they moved deeper into Europa's crust. The temperature rose noticeably and a faint blue glow became visible through the transparent floor of the transport. They emerged into a massive cavern carved from ice. The ceiling arched hundreds of meters above them, glowing with embedded lights that mimicked a terrestrial sky. Below them stretched a vast underground lake, its waters unnaturally still and glowing with the same blue luminescence Zara had noticed earlier. In the center of the lake stood a massive ring structure, its outer edge composed of what appeared to be the same material as the special suits. Its inner portion empty, but shimmering with some kind of energy field. The gateway, Maya announced with evident pride. 1 year of construction. 300 of our best minds working in shifts. 17 breakthrough technologies developed specifically for this project. What does it do? Zara asked, though she suspected the answer. Diane stepped forward. It creates stable wormholes between distant points in space, allowing instantaneous travel across galaxies. Impossible, Zara whispered. The energy requirements alone. Maya smiled. Our sun provides enough energy. We just needed to learn how to harness it properly. The quantum entanglement network allows us to establish exit points anywhere we've sent probes. Zara stared at the structure with new understanding. The implications were staggering. If humans could travel instantaneously across such vast distances, the balance of power throughout known space would shift dramatically. We activated it for the first time last week, Diane continued, successfully sending a team to the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy and back. The journey took them 3 minutes. 3 minutes to travel millions of light years. Zara could barely process this information. Her people had been developing similar technology for centuries with limited success. Their fastest ships still required years to travel between neighboring star systems. Why show me this? Zara asked, her voice barely audible. Why reveal your greatest technological achievement to a potential rival? Diane turned to face her fully. As I said, something is coming. We detected them at the edges of your territory first. Actually, your probes detected them, but your scientists misinterpreted the data. We call them the Void. They consume everything in their path and they're moving toward both our worlds. A chill ran through Zara that had nothing to do with Europa's frozen environment. You need allies, not just allies. Diane corrected. We need partners. Species willing to share knowledge and resources to face a common threat. The Void cannot be defeated by any single civilization. We have already established contact with 11 other spacefaring species, none as advanced as the Valorians. Zara realized she was being offered not just information, but an invitation. The humans were building a coalition, and they wanted her people to join. Before Zara could respond, the facility shuddered violently. The lights flickered and emergency sirens began to wail. Maya touched her temple implant, her eyes widening. Breach in the outer perimeter, she reported. Something penetrated our defenses. Security. Teams responding. Diane frowned. This is not the storm. Another alarm status. A new voice echoed through the chamber. Security Chief. Samantha here, Director. We have an intruder. Humanoid. But definitely not human. It's moving through Sector 7 heading toward the gateway chamber. Zara stiffened. Was this another Valorian? Perhaps her superiors had sent backup, but they would have informed her. How did it get past our sensors? Maya asked. Nobody should be able to approach undetected, especially with the storm. It's using some kind of phasing technology. Samantha's voice replied. Our weapons pass right through it. Diane turned to Zara. Is this one of yours? Zara shook her head. No. Valorians do not possess phasing technology. Her mind raced through possibilities. Only one species she knew of could phase through solid matter. The Krell. But they rarely left their home system, and they certainly had no interest in humans. We need to evacuate, Diane ordered. Maya, initiate gateway startup sequence Delta protocol. Samantha, delay the intruder as long as possible without casualties. Zara watched as the humans moved with practiced efficiency. Maya approached a control panel, her hands flying across its surface. The great ring in the center of the lake began to hum. The blue glow intensified. What is Delta protocol? Zara asked, following Diane toward a platform extending over the water. Diane glanced back at her emergency evacuation. We've prepared for this possibility. The gateway can transport everyone at the base to our fallback location. If we can't defend Europa, we don't leave our technology for others to claim. The platform beneath their feet began to move, gliding silently across the lake's surface toward the gateway ring. The water rippled with energy, and Zara could feel her skin tingling with the power being channeled. You should come with us, Diane said. We can return you to your ship later if you wish. But if that intruder is what I fear, you may not want to be left behind. Before Zara could answer, the massive doors to the chamber burst open. A figure floated through. The being was humanoid, but clearly not human. Its body was translucent, shifting in and out of visibility. Its eyes glowed with an eerie purple light. Krell. Zara whispered. Her worst. Fears confirmed. The creature spotted them immediately, its form solidifying as it focused. Its mouth opened, revealing rows of crystalline teeth, Valorian. It hissed in a voice that seemed to echo from multiple sources. You betray your directive, Zara. Stepped forward, placing herself between the Krell and the humans. I have betrayed nothing. I am here on an authorized mission. The Krell floated closer, its body rippling like water in zero gravity. Your mission was to observe and report, not to reveal yourself. Your commanders are most displeased. How had the Krell known about her mission? Unless sudden understanding dawned on Zara, the Krell were working with someone in the Valorian High Command that would explain how they knew her mission parameters. Behind her, the gateway hummed louder. The ring now filled with swirling energy, forming a vertical pool of light. The Krell noticed this too. We cannot allow humans to spread further. Your kind has been contained on this system for a reason. Their gateway must be destroyed. Zara had been briefed on Krell capabilities. They could phase through matter, but only when unfocused. When they solidified to interact with the physical world, they became vulnerable. And they had just solidified. She launched herself at the creature, moving with the full speed of her enhanced biology. The Krell clearly didn't expect this attack. It tried to phase, but too late. Zara collided with it, sending them both crashing into the cavern wall. The impact would have killed a human, but both Zara and the Krell were made of sterner stuff. The Krell recovered quickly, slashing at her with crystalline claws that extended from its fingers. She dodged the worst of the blow, but felt a burning pain as one claw grazed her arm. You protect these primitives, the Krell spat. Why? Because I've seen what they can do, Zara replied. And am not convinced they're as primitive as we've been led to believe. She struck again, aiming for the creature's center mass where Krell physiology was most vulnerable. Her blow connected with satisfying force. The Krell shrieked, its form wavering between solid and translucent. More security officers had arrived, human females in combat armor. Their weapons powered up, targeting the Krell. But their shots passed through. As the creature phased again, the gateway is ready. Maya called out. 30 seconds to activation. The Krell recovered, floating upward toward the cavern ceiling. It reached into its body and pulled out a device Zara recognized with horror. An implosion, bomb banned in all civilized systems. Powerful enough to collapse the entire cavern and destroy the gateway. Diane seemed to recognize it too. Everyone through the gateway. Now, she ordered. The platform had reached the ring, now positioned directly. Before the shimmering portal, Zara calculated quickly. She couldn't let the Krell destroy the gateway. Not just for the human's sake, but because she now understood something larger was happening. Something that involved her own people, possibly a conspiracy. Reaching into the highest levels of Valorian command, the humans were evacuating, running through the portal in organized groups. Zara saw Maya hesitate, looking back at her with concern. Go, Zara shouted to her. Then she leapt upward, using her enhanced strength to propel herself toward the Krell. She had one chance to stop it. The creature saw her coming. It tried to phase, but the bomb in its hands required physical form to manipulate Zara. Collided with it again. This time wrapping her arms around both the Krell and the bomb. They tumbled through the air toward the lake below, 10 seconds to gateway collapse. Maya shouted from below. Only the director remained on the platform waiting. The Krell fought viciously, its claws raking across Zara's skin, but she held tight. Valorian combat training had prepared her for this. A technique called the binding embrace. Once locked, it could not be broken. They hit the water with tremendous force. The impact momentarily stunned the Krell. Its concentration broke and it solidified fully. Zara used this moment to her advantage, pushing away from the creature while keeping hold of the bomb. She kicked hard, sending the Krell tumbling deeper into the glowing waters. The bomb was still active, its countdown visible on its surface. 5 seconds remaining. Zara swam powerfully toward the surface. The gateway was her only escape now. She broke the water's surface with explosive force, using every bit of her enhanced strength to propel herself toward the platform. Diane stood there, hand extended. 3 seconds. Zara reached the platform. Diane grabbed her, pulling her toward the portal with surprising strength for a human. 1 second. They tumbled through the gateway together. The world around them dissolved into pure energy. Zara felt her body being pulled apart and reassembled molecule by molecule. The sensation was unlike anything she'd ever experienced. Behind them, a flash of light as the implosion bomb detonated. Then nothing, as the gateway on Europa collapsed. Zara and Diane fell onto a metal floor in a completely different facility. The air was warmer, the gravity slightly stronger. Humans in the same uniforms moved around them, some offering assistance. "Are you injured?" Diane asked, helping Zara to her feet. "Just minor wounds," Zara replied. Valorians heal quickly. Her mind was still processing what had happened. The Krell, the bomb, the gateway. And most troubling, the implication that someone high in Valorian command was working with the Krell. "Where are we?" she asked finally. "Earth," Diane said. "Our primary gateway facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. Welcome to the heart of human innovation." The Earth facility dwarfed the one on Europa. Multiple gateway rings stood in a vast chamber, each large enough to allow small ships to pass through. Some were active with the same shimmering energy field, others dormant. Hundreds of humans worked at various stations. The technology here was even more advanced than what Zara had seen on the moon. Maya approached them, medical staff following close behind. She looked relieved to see them both unharmed. "Everyone made it through," she reported. "Casualties minimal, just a few injuries from the evacuation." Diane nodded, then turned to Zara. "That Krell knew you. It said something about a directive. Can you explain?" Zara hesitated, weighing her options. Her mission was classified. But after what happened, loyalty to her mission parameters seemed less important than discovering the truth. "The Valorian High Council has been monitoring Earth for centuries," she admitted. "We were under strict orders not to make direct contact. Your species was classified as developing, with potential but unpredictable. My mission was standard observation." Maya frowned, so the Krell was telling the truth. "You were spying on us." "Not spying precisely," Zara corrected. "We observe many developing species. It helps us understand galactic development patterns. But the Krell should not have known my mission, and they certainly shouldn't be working with any Valorian officials." A tall human female approached them, her uniform more elaborate than the others. Her short blonde hair framed a face lined with age and authority. Everyone looked to her with obvious respect. Admiral Susan Rogers, Earth Defense Command. "Diane, tell me what happened." Diane explained the events on Europa quickly and efficiently. The Admiral listened, her expression growing darker. "When the Krell was mentioned, we lost the Europa facility," Susan concluded. "But the technology can be rebuilt. The greater concern is this apparent alliance between the Krell and elements of the Valorian leadership." Zara felt all eyes turned to her. She stood straight, meeting their gazes directly. "I am as troubled by this as you are. The Krell are known isolationists. They rarely leave their home system, and certainly don't involve themselves in galactic politics." "So why now?" Maya asked. Why target our gateway? Zara considered this. The gateway provides instantaneous travel across vast distances. It would change the balance of power throughout the galaxy. Perhaps some in the Valorian leadership see this as a threat, or Admiral. Rogers added, perhaps this has something to do with the void you mentioned. Diane nodded. The timing seemed suspicious. The void approaches and suddenly, the Krell are working with Valorian officials to sabotage our defense preparations. Zara needed to know more about this threat. What exactly is the void? You mentioned it earlier. Admiral Rogers gestured to a large display screen on the wall. The screen lit up, showing a region of space near the edge of the Milky Way. A darkness spread across it, not like normal space, but something that seemed to consume light itself. Stars disappeared as it passed. We first detected it 3 Earth years ago, the Admiral explained. It moves slowly but consistently, consuming everything in its path. Stars, planets, entire systems simply cease to exist. We sent probes. Most never returned. Those that did brought back data that our scientists are still trying to understand. The screen showed readings from these probes, numbers and symbols that made little sense to Zara. But one thing was clear: whatever this void was, it defied normal physics. The void will reach Valorian space in approximately 18 months. Admiral Rogers continued. Earth in 23 months. We have been preparing defenses, but frankly, we don't know if anything can stop it. Zara felt cold dread settle in her stomach. This threat was unlike anything she'd heard of. Yet the Valorian High Council had never mentioned it, which meant either they didn't know or they knew and chose not to inform the general. Population, Maya finished as if reading her thoughts. That would explain the partnership with the Krell. Diane added, the Krell home system is on the opposite side of the galaxy. They would be among the last affected. Zara shook her head, trying to process these implications. Some members of my government might be planning to save only themselves, she realized. Abandoning the rest of the galaxy to this void. Admiral Rogers approached Zara directly. I understand your position is complicated, but we need allies in the Valorian government. Those who would stand with us against both this void and any conspiracy to abandon the rest of us to our fate. Zara thought of her family, her friends, the billions of ordinary Valorians who knew nothing of this threat. They deserved to know. They deserved a chance to fight. What do you propose? She asked. Admiral Rogers smiled grimly. First, we need to confirm your suspicions. We need proof of this conspiracy between your officials and the Krell. Then we can approach trustworthy members of your government with evidence they can't ignore. But how? Zara asked. My ship is still on Europa. And even if I could return to Valoria, what proof could I offer? The Admiral exchanged glances with Diane and Maya. Then she spoke. We recovered something from one of our probes into the void. Something we believe is a weapon or defense mechanism left by whoever came before. The screen changed, showing an artifact unlike anything Zara had seen. It was roughly spherical, but its surface shifted and moved as if alive. Patterns of light pulsed across it in sequences too complex to follow. We call it the Nexus, Admiral Rogers explained. It appears to be some kind of quantum computer, but its architecture is millions of years. Beyond our technology, we can activate it, but we can't communicate with it fully. We believe it contains information about the void, how to fight it, maybe even how to stop it. And you want me to take it to Valoria? Zara guessed. The Admiral nodded. The Nexus responds to certain genetic patterns. Among humans, only a few of our scientists can interact with it at all, but our tests suggest Valorian biology might be more compatible. Your species' neural structure is more advanced than ours. The right, Valorian might be able to access its full capabilities. Zara considered this carefully. Taking the Nexus to Valoria would be seen as treason by those working with the Krell, but if the conspiracy reached high enough in her government, she would need powerful allies. There is someone who might help, she said finally. Commander Liana, my superior. She has connections throughout the government, and I trust her completely. If anyone can identify who might be working with the Krell, it's her. Admiral Rogers nodded. Then we have a plan. We get you back to Valoria with the Nexus. You contact this Commander Liana. Together, you identify who can be trusted and expose the conspiracy. And in the process, Diane added, "We form an alliance to face the void." Maya approached a nearby console. "The gateway can send you directly to Valorian space," she explained, "but we would need precise coordinates." "I can provide those," Zara said, "but there is another problem. The Krell may have already reported my actions to their Valorian allies. I could be walking into a trap." Admiral Rogers smiled for the first time. "Which is why you'll have backup." The Admiral gestured to a group of humans entering the chamber. Each wore one of the special suits Zara had admired earlier, but these were clearly combat versions reinforced with additional armor and what appeared to be weapon systems integrated into the arms. Earth Special Forces. Admiral Rogers explained, "Our best operatives. They know how to stay hidden, even from Valorian sensors, and they have standing orders to ensure both you and the Nexus reach Commander Liana safely." Zara was stunned. Humans willing to risk their lives to help her. A Valorian who until hours ago had considered them inferior. "We don't have much time," Maya interrupted. "Our sensors detect unusual activity in the Jovian system. The Krell ship is moving, likely heading to Valorian space to report what happened. Then we need to move quickly," Zara said. "The gateway will get us there first, but we need to prepare." She turned to the Earth Special Forces, evaluating them with new respect. These humans were nothing like she'd been led to believe. Their technology, their courage, their willingness to face the unknown. They were worthy allies. Admiral Rogers led them. Toward a secure chamber. At its center rested the Nexus, its shifting surface casting strange shadows on the walls. "One more thing," the Admiral said. "When we send you through the gateway, it will alert the Valorian defense grid. Their response will be immediate and potentially hostile. How do we avoid being shot down the moment we arrive?" Zara thought for a moment, then smiled. "I know just the place. My family maintains a private research station in the outer reaches of our system, remote enough to avoid immediate detection but equipped with communication arrays powerful enough to reach Commander Liana." Within hours, preparations were complete. Zara stood before the largest gateway ring, flanked by 6 human operatives. Each wore the advanced combat suits, their features obscured by helmets with reflective visors. The Nexus was secured in a special container designed to mask its energy signature. Maya approached them carrying small devices that resembled silver discs. "These are personal phase shields," she explained. "They won't allow you to pass through matter like the Krell, but they will hide you from most standard sensors. Use them only when necessary. They drain power quickly." Zara accepted one, studying its elegant design. Further proof of human ingenuity. Admiral Rogers addressed the team. "This mission is voluntary," she reminded them. "You will be the first humans to set foot in Valorian space. The risks are significant. If you're captured, we cannot mount a rescue." The lead operative, a tall woman with a confident stance, stepped forward. "No one gets left behind. Admiral, we all return, or none of us do." Zara was impressed by their loyalty. She turned to Diane, who had been quietly observing. "Thank you for trusting me. I will not forget what I have seen here." Diane smiled. "When we first detected your ship, I argued for making contact rather than destroying it. Seems my instincts were correct." Maya interrupted from her position at the control console. "Gateway charged and ready. Coordinates locked. Target is Valorian Research Station, Alteris 9. The ring before them flared to life. Energy swirled into a vertical pool of light similar to what Zara had seen on Europa, but much larger and more stable. Admiral Rogers stepped forward one last time. "Good luck to all of you. The fate of both our worlds may depend on your success with that." Zara led the human team through the gateway. The sensation was similar to her first experience, a feeling of being unmade and remade molecule by molecule. A moment of disorientation, then they emerged in a large hangar, Valorian architecture immediately, recognizable to Zara with its flowing organic lines and crystalline surfaces. The station appeared unoccupied. As she had hoped, Alteris 9 was primarily used for deep space observation and rarely had permanent staff. "We made it," she announced, scanning the surroundings. "Stay close." The environment here is calibrated for Valorians. The gravity and atmospheric composition may feel strange to you. The human team moved with professional precision, securing the perimeter while their leader approached. Zara operative Megan Reyes. She introduced herself, removing her helmet to reveal dark hair tied back in a practical style. How long until someone notices our arrival? Zara moved to a nearby console, checking the station systems. The gateway energy signature would have been detected by monitoring stations, but the automated response would be slow, especially since this facility was registered to her family. We have perhaps 1 hour before any investigation team arrives. She estimated. Enough. Time to contact Commander Liana. She activated the communication array, entering an encrypted channel used only by high-ranking military personnel. It took several minutes for the connection to establish. The security protocols were extensive. Finally, Commander Liana's face appeared on the screen, her expression showing brief surprise, then careful neutrality. Zara. What is the meaning of this? Your mission parameters did not include using restricted military channels. Commander, I need to meet with you urgently, Zara replied. Information critical to Valorian security. The channel isn't secure enough for details. Liana's eyes narrowed. You are not alone. Her gaze shifted slightly, taking in the humans visible behind Zara. You have brought outsiders to a Valorian facility. Explain yourself immediately. I will explain everything when we meet. Zara promised. But please trust me. This is bigger than my mission. This affects our entire species. Liana was silent for a long moment, evaluating. Then she nodded. Very well, I will come alone. Send coordinates to my private channel. Then she added in a lower voice. The High Council has been asking about you. The Krell ambassador arrived 6 hours ago, demanding an emergency session. The connection ended. Zara turned. To the human team, we don't have much time. The Krell are already here. They must have faster transportation than we anticipated. Megan frowned. Can you trust this, Commander? Zara nodded. Liana raised me after my parents died in the border conflicts. She is like family. But more importantly, she has always put the welfare of our people above politics. We need her influence. The team spread through the station, setting up defensive positions just in case. Megan remained with Zara, helping to secure the nexus. Tell me about your world, Megan asked as they worked. Earth must seem primitive compared to all this. Zara considered the question. Valoria is beautiful in its way. Our cities blend with the natural environment, growing rather than being built. Our technology is designed to appear seamless, integrated into daily life without being obvious, like your personal camouflage ability. Megan noted. Zara nodded. Evolution and technology working together. But I have seen wonders on Earth in just the short time I was there. That humans accomplished so much in such a short evolutionary period is remarkable. Your adaptability is unique among species we have encountered. Megan smiled slightly. We're stubborn that way. When told something is impossible, we take it as a challenge. A warning alarm sounded throughout the station. One of the human operatives called out, Ship approaching fast. Zara, check the scanner. A small vessel, Valorian-designed military-class Commander Liana, had arrived sooner than expected. The ship docked with practiced precision. Zara went to meet it. The humans took positions out of sight, ready to respond if necessary. The airlock cycled and Commander Liana stepped through, her uniform immaculate, her bearing regal. She had always had that effect, making any space she entered feel smaller. Zara stood at attention out of habit. Liana approached slowly, her expression unreadable. You have caused quite a situation, young one, she said finally. The Krell ambassador claims you attacked one of their observers, destroyed a research facility, and stole classified technology. Is this true? Not exactly, Zara replied. The Krell attacked a human outpost. They tried to destroy technology vital to defending against a greater threat, and they admitted to working with officials in our government. Liana's expression didn't change, but her eyes sharpened. You have evidence of this, claimed. Zara gestured and Megan stepped forward with the rest of the human team. Commander Liana, this is Special Operative Megan Reyes of Earth Defense Command. To her credit, Liana showed only mild surprise at the human's presence. So you have made first contact with the humans. After centuries of observation protocols, the humans have made significant technological advances, Zara explained, including instantaneous transportation across galaxies. The Krell tried to destroy this technology, and they mentioned a directive that could only have come from someone in our government. Megan stepped forward. Commander, we have evidence of a threat greater than either the Valorians or humans have faced before. We call it the Void. It consumes everything in its path, and it's heading toward both our worlds. Liana's expression grew serious. Show me. They led her to where the Nexus was stored. Megan activated a small projector showing the same images Zara had seen on Earth, the darkness spreading across space, the stars disappearing. Our scientists believe this artifact may hold the key to stopping it, Megan explained, indicating the Nexus. It responds to advanced neural patterns. We believe a Valorian might be able to fully activate it. Liana studied the Nexus, her expression thoughtful. The High Council has mentioned nothing of this threat, she said, finally. Yet such a phenomenon could not have escaped our deep space monitoring, unless Zara suggested someone wanted to keep it secret. The same people working with the Krell. Liana turned to her sharply. That is a serious accusation. I know, Zara acknowledged, but consider the evidence. The Krell knew my mission parameters. They tried to destroy human defense technology. They spoke of a directive, and now we learn of this void, threatening both our worlds, yet our government says nothing. Liana was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke. The council has been divided recently. New factions forming around Defense Minister Solara. She advocates for a policy of isolation, abandoning our treaties with other species, focusing our resources on strengthening our borders. She has been meeting privately with representatives from several species, including the Krell. Zara and Megan exchanged glances. This aligned with their suspicions. How many support her? Zara asked. Too many, Liana replied. And her influence grows daily. We need evidence, concrete proof of her intentions. Otherwise, challenging her would be political suicide. Megan stepped forward. We believe the Nexus contains that proof, if we can activate it fully. Liana studied the artifact. Then make her decision. I will help you. But we cannot stay here. This facility will be searched as soon as the Krell inform Solara of your return. We need somewhere more secure. I have a suggestion, Zara said. The ancient temple complex on the southern continent. It's been abandoned for centuries, but the underground chambers are shielded naturally by mineral deposits that block scanning technology. Our ancestors used it as a refuge during the wars of unification. Liana nodded. A fitting choice. The past may hold the key to our future, but we must move quickly. Solaris agents will be searching for you and for your human allies. Commander, Liana's ship was designed for stealth, its systems easily avoiding the orbital security grid as they descended toward Valorius' southern continent. Below them stretched vast plains of silver-blue vegetation. The abandoned temple complex barely visible among the rolling hills, its once grand structures reclaimed by nature. They landed in a clearing half a kilometer from the main temple, Liana expertly guiding the ship between ancient stone columns. The humans disembarked, cautiously adjusting to the heavier gravity and different atmospheric composition. Their suits compensated for most differences, but Zara could tell they were experiencing mild discomfort. This place is beautiful, Megan commented, looking at the towering spirals of crystal that marked the temple entrance. Untouched for centuries, you said. Almost 2,000 years, Liana confirmed. Our people once worshipped here before the Great Technological Awakening. The temples were abandoned when science replaced religion, but they were never destroyed out of respect for our past. They moved quickly through the main chamber, following Zara, who remembered the layout from historical texts. She led them to a circular stone in the center of the floor, Valorian symbols carved around its edge. The entrance to the underground chambers, she explained, pressing specific symbols in sequence. The stone shifted, revealing steps leading down into darkness. Liana's wrist device provided light as they descended. The stairway seemed endless, spiraling deep into Valoria's crust. Finally, they emerged into a vast chamber, its walls lined with the same crystalline material that had been used in the temples above. But here the crystals glowed softly, providing natural illumination. This place was once a sanctuary, Liana explained during times of conflict. Our ancestors believed the crystals held protective properties. The mineral composition does indeed shield from most scanning technology. The human team set up equipment, quickly establishing a secure perimeter. The nexus was placed on a stone altar in the center of the chamber, its shifting surface reflecting the crystalline glow, creating patterns of light across the walls now. What Zara asked Megan approached the nexus. Our scientists believe it responds to neural patterns, she explained. It needs a mind to interface with someone with the right genetic structure. Liana studied the artifact, then turned to Zara. You should try. The warrior bloodlines have the strongest neural pathways, and you have already been exposed to the humans' technology. Zara hesitated. The idea of connecting her mind to an unknown alien device was frightening, but she understood the necessity. They needed information about the void and potentially evidence of the conspiracy within the Valorian government. She approached the nexus, slowly placing her hands on its shifting surface. The material felt strange, neither solid nor liquid, but something in between. It pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Nothing happened. I don't know how to activate it, she admitted. Megan stepped forward. Our scientists theorized that it responds to need, to the desire for knowledge with purpose. Try focusing on what you want to know. Zara closed her eyes, concentrating on the void, the threat it posed, the need to understand it, and deeper the suspicion that members of her own government were betraying their people. The nexus pulsed brighter, its surface flowing more rapidly beneath her fingers. Suddenly she felt a connection, like a door opening in her mind. Images and information flooded through her. She saw the void from the inside, an absence that consumed everything. Stars, planets, civilizations all devoured, not destroyed but transformed into something beyond understanding. She saw worlds falling to it one after another, species fighting desperately then fleeing. The pattern repeated across millennia. Then she saw something unexpected. The void was not natural. It had been created, a weapon designed by an ancient species, long extinct, its purpose to reshape reality itself. But something had gone wrong. The weapon had evolved, becoming self-sustaining, consuming its creators, then continuing its relentless expansion. And finally she saw the conspiracy. The truth behind Defense Minister Solaris' actions. The minister had discovered the void years ago, through deep space monitoring stations. But instead of warning the Valorian people, she had made a deal with the Krell and others. The plans detailed and horrifying. The construction of massive ships, arcs designed to carry a select few to another galaxy, abandoning billions to their fate. Zara gasped, pulling back from the nexus. She stumbled, Liana catching her before she fell. What did you see? The commander asked. Urgently, everything, Zara whispered. The void, its origin. The conspiracy. Solara plans to save only a chosen few. The rest of our people will be left behind to die. Liana's expression hardened. You saw proof of this. Zara nodded. The nexus showed me locations, hidden shipyards, classified documents, communications between Solara and the Krell. It's all there. One of the human operatives called out. Movement outside commander, multiple ships approaching. Liana moved quickly to check the sensors. They found us, sooner than expected, she said grimly. Solara must have ordered a planet-wide search. Megan joined them. How many? Too many to fight. Liana answered. 8 combat vessels, heavily armed. We need another solution. Zara looked back at the nexus. It was glowing, brighter than before. Almost as if calling to her, she approached it again. The nexus showed me something else, she said, placing her hands on its surface. A defense against the void. The ancients built it but never deployed it. They feared it might be worse than the void itself. What kind of defense? Megan asked. Zara closed her eyes again, connecting with the artifact. A network of devices, she explained, placed at strategic points throughout the galaxy. They generate a field that repels the void forcing it back like immune cells fighting an infection. The technology is complex but not beyond our combined capabilities. How do we build such devices? Liana asked. The information is here, Zara replied. All of it. Blueprints, material requirements, energy calculations. But we need time. Time we don't have if Solara captures us. The chamber shuddered, dust falling from the ancient ceiling. The ships outside were using scanning equipment trying to penetrate the natural shielding of the crystals. We need to get this information. To both our governments, Megan said. But how do we escape? Zara looked at the Nexus, then at the humans, and finally at Liana. An idea forming. The Nexus had shown her more than just information about the void. It had revealed capabilities within the artifact itself. The Nexus can generate a gateway, she said suddenly, like the human technology but temporary. A one-time portal to where Liana asked, anywhere I choose. Zara replied, but it will drain the artifact completely. We might lose access to the information it contains. Not if I copy it first, Megan said. She removed a device from her suit, a data crystal far more advanced than standard human technology. This was developed based on artifacts we found studying the void. It can store quantum information patterns. Zara nodded. Quickly then. The ships are getting closer. Megan placed the crystal against the Nexus. A connection formed, light flowing from the artifact into the crystal. The process took several minutes, during which the chamber shook more violently. Security forces would break through soon. It's done, Megan announced finally. The crystal contains everything. The information about the void, the defense network, and the evidence of the conspiracy. Zara placed her hands on the Nexus, one final time focusing on creating a gateway. The artifact pulsed brighter than ever. Energy spiraling outward, forming a familiar vertical pool of light smaller than the human gateways but just as effective. Where does it lead? Liana asked. Earth. Zara replied. The human gateway facility. The safest place for both the information and the humans. Another explosion rocked the chamber closer this time. They had minutes at most. You must go with them, Liana told Zara suddenly. I will remain. Deal with Solara. No, Zara protested. You have to come too. Liana shook her head. Someone must present this evidence to those still loyal in the government. Someone with authority and credibility. I can rally support against Solara. But only if I remain. The human team was already moving toward the gateway. Megan paused, looking back at Zara. Come with us, she urged. The crystal holds the evidence, but you understand it better than anyone. Zara looked between Liana and Megan, torn between loyalty to her people and the mission to save both their species. Go, Liana commanded. This is bigger than any one of us. The humans need you to explain what the Nexus revealed, and I need someone I trust working with them to build the defense network. A final explosion shook the chamber. Part of the ceiling collapsing. Security forces would break through any moment. Zara made her decision, embracing Liana briefly. I will return, she promised, with help. Then she joined Megan at the gateway. The human took her hand, a gesture of solidarity. Together they stepped through the portal. The other operatives following the gateway collapsed behind them, the Nexus going dark, its power exhausted. They emerged in the Earth facility, stumbling slightly from the transition. Admiral Rogers was waiting, her expression showing relief at their return, then concern as she noted Liana's absence. What happened? She demanded. Zara stepped forward, her posture straight despite her exhaustion. We have what we need, she announced. Both the information to fight the void and evidence of a conspiracy within the Valorian government. She gestured to Megan, who held up the data crystal. This contains everything, including blueprints for a defense network that can repel the Void Admiral. Roger's eyes widened. And, Commander Liana, she remained behind, Zara explained. To rally support among those still loyal in our government. She will need our help soon.